Hi everyone. Today I'm going to show you how I make the best ground deer jerky that I've tried yet. So Saturday I shot a deer, had it in a stand-up cooler at 34 to 38 degrees until today. The reason I like to let the deer meat sit in the cooler for a few days is to let it age and let the blood drain out. It has a slightly different flavor and texture. I like it better that way. Either way is fine. You can cut yours right away or you can let it sit. So I cut it in strips about this size because it makes it so much easier to grind. It just falls right in and it comes right out. But while I'm grinding, I like to mention that I use the disc with the smallest holes. I like the ground meat to be fine. I like it to be easier to work with, and I like the texture better. But it's up to you. You can use whatever attachment you want. I like to weigh my bowls before I grind meat into them. It makes it easier for me so I know when to stop. For this bowl, I'll probably go up to 3 or 4 pounds. I forget how much fits into it, but up to you again. The seasoning that I will use today and probably for a very long time is the Nesco maple bacon and High Mountain pepper blend. These two seem to be everybody's favorites, including mine. So the difference with the ground jerky and the muscle jerky is that you don't have to wait overnight for the seasoning to soak into the meat. It's already there. So make sure you read the directions that come in each box, and make sure you're reading the directions for the mixture of the ground jerky, not the muscle jerky, because there will be a different ratio of meat to seasoning. Once you have your seasoning mixed into your jerky meat, and you're ready to start squeezing your jerky out, you want to put your jerky on a pan and preheat it before you dehydrate it. There's plenty of benefits to doing this, which I find is both health related and taste and texture related. So what I do is I put the raw jerky meat into the gun, squeeze it directly onto a pan, and I put it in my oven for 10 minutes on 300 degrees Fahrenheit. And then once your jerky is done, after that 10 minutes, you can cut the jerky slices into whatever length size you want. And before you put it in the dehydrator, you can fit about, the last time I did this, I fit almost 4 pounds in there, and I did still have a little room. You just want to make sure that the jerky isn't really touching each other. You want to give it some space. So you can heat your jerky in the oven for 10 minutes on 300 degrees, and then in the dehydrator, what I do is I have my jerky in the dehydrator for 3 hours, 3.5 hours, all the way up to 4 hours. That gives it the perfect texture, the perfect crunch, everything. So you just want to watch your jerky after 3 hours. You want to keep an eye on it. And then, this way, at 3 hours, it's basically completely dehydrated. But depending on which level of crispiness you like, you can keep an eye on it every so often up until 4 hours. I'd say 4 hours would be pretty crispy. During the whole process, we try to eliminate as much bacterial growth as possible. And another thing, I like to rotate my trays about halfway through dehydration because I notice that certain levels are cooked more than others, and this kind of eliminates that. So maybe put your top rows on the bottom, maybe halfway through. You also should start your dehydrator right about the time you start your oven, so it's good and hot and ready to go before you put your jerky in it. This is the end result. I'm sorry you can't really see it that great. I have a picture for the thumbnail that shows more detail, but I had the first batch in for about 5 hours. For some reason, it wasn't cooking all the way. And this is my second batch, and I had this in for 4 hours, and I would say about 4.5 hours. So, you know, you just want to watch and see what level of done you want your jerky, and that's it. Any questions or concerns, you can just leave it in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.